Nice.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our BGL and FuseSign webinar. My name's Luca, and I've got Jackson here with me. Um, we are going to be sharing the BGL and FuseSign suite today. But before we get started, just some housekeeping. We've placed everyone on mute for the duration of the session. I've opened up the Q&A, so feel free to put any of your questions in the Q&A, and we'll do our best to get to them throughout the webinar. We're going to be running a couple of polls, so feel free to get engaged and fill those out once we launch them. But good morning to you, Jackson, and thanks for
Morning.
joining us.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for having me. It's great to
Yeah,
be
no
here.
problem. Yeah, it's always exciting to share the BGL and FuseSign integration.
Arguably my favorite conversation to have. So yes, very very excited to get through it with you today. And we develop and enhance the integration we have, particularly with CAS 360, that we're going to show off today, really regularly. So for those who might be joining who haven't looked at it in like the last 12 months or so, yeah, leaps and bounds every other day at the moment. So yeah, super exciting.
Yeah, I think that's really the beauty about the partnership we've got with FuseSign is so easy to work with. Whenever there's a new feature release or anything needs to change, or a new innovation we want to add, we do it so seamlessly and
Mm.
quickly. We could get those releases out really fast.
Yeah, likewise. And I think something that people, and I've spoken about this before a bit, but something that people don't always kind of consider, I guess, when we look at integrations is people want, the breadth of integrations that, you and I both offer across different apps in the market. But a big important thing for us is making sure that we have aligned business values with the other partners that we're integrating with as well. And we always kind of have BGL as our baseline for that whenever we're looking at new integration partners, because of exactly that. Like, if everyone was that easy to work with, we'd probably have another 100 integrations.
That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just introduce us. So, my name's Luca. I'm the head of sales at BGL. I've been working here for 9 years, started in the support team and now in the sales team. Jackson, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, yep. Jackson Briggs, so head of sales with the team at Fuse. Just ticked over 5 years with the guys here today, and FuseSign actually just ticked over our sixth birthday. So yeah, I came in sort of early days with FuseSign in particular, and it's been a journey.
Beautiful. All right, so today's agenda. So we're going to just cover off on a couple of things, where CAS 360 and FuseSign fits within your tech stack, the compliance workflow problems. So what we identified over the past couple of years where that compliance workflow problem was sitting, and how with CAS 360 and FuseSign we aim to solve that problem, the CAS 360 and FuseSign workflow, and then the demo workflow and next step. So me and Jackson will be going through our platforms and show you how they link up and make your lives as accountants, if you are utilizing both solutions, as easy as possible. But what we might do before we get started is, we like to understand a bit of who's in attendance and tailor our sessions to the audience. So what we'll do is we'll run a quick poll, just to see you know the kind of demographic that we've got in the session. Um, so we can go through things to tailor it to more of your needs. So first question is, how do you manage your ASIC corporate compliance? So just get an idea of what we're using there. Is it ASIC portal, or are we majority CAS 360 clients, or are we using other software apps? And then how does your firm currently send out documents for signing? So email and manual follow-up? Are we using e-signing? Are we printing our documents and getting the wet signatures, or a bit of everything?
Mm.
And then what is your biggest challenge with signing an ASIC corporate compliance? Is it tracking those annual review deadlines, chasing clients to sign documents, avoiding those ASIC late fees, those dreaded ASIC late fees, um, managing the document packs and filing, And then what's most important to you when choosing a compliance and e-signing software? Is it that time and automation or seamless integrations with other apps, ease of use, user experience, or customer support and training? So we
It's
can
a real
see,
mix.
yeah, saving time and automation is huge. And I suppose that saving in time through our integration is really what's going to be the game changer when we do the demo. Seamless integration with other apps, pretty big. Ease of use, user experience.
All of
Not
it.
not much for customer support and training.
It's plug and play, Luca. It's plug
Yeah,
and play.
thought that'd be higher.
Yeah.
That's all right. All
Nice.
right. So what I might do is I'll just, while you're still filling out that poll, I'll talk about where CAS 360 fits in. So we developed CAS 360 at BGL in 2016 and released it into the market. Before that, we had CAS Desktop, which a lot of us would be familiar with joining the webinar today. That's been around since the 90s, and we discontinued that soon after the release of CAS 360. The real purpose of CAS 360 is to centralize that company compliance management and create an end-to-end solution to basically get you from uh, preparing your document packs for whatever that might be, company changes, annual reviews, etc., to then having them seamlessly sent out to the directors, secretaries to be signed, filed back, and stored into your document management solution, and then lodged to ASIC within that deadline. We focus really on three main pillars and three main areas of that compliance workflow, which was pretty much the annual reviews. So keeping track of your annual reviews and having them sent out to your client in a timely fashion, getting that solvency resolution signed and filed back, and then uh, making sure we pay that ASIC fee on time. Keeping track of all of our document deadlines, so that 28-day document deadline. We don't want to be giving our clients ASIC late fees. It does get awkward with that conversation, or generally the accountant just ends up having to wear that cost and pay that fee. And doing a quick review before this webinar of what that fee is, it's going up significantly. So I
Mm.
think it's around $98 for a 1 month late, and then it pumps all the way up to $400, nearly four times if
Right.
you're over that 1 month. So we really want to be keeping on top of those document packs and that lodgement deadline. And then just sort of, I suppose, improve that visibility and client follow up, which we'll touch on in our demo. I'll hand over to you, Jackson. You can tell everyone where FuseSign fits.
Yeah, amazing. So I guess for us, taking a step back, our journey with Fuse started over a decade ago. So again, FuseSign has just ticked over 6 years, but we've been in the software space at FuseWorks for over 10 years now. And FuseSign itself was actually born out of our own accounting practice based here in Brisbane. So Melissa Voss, who is our co-founder and chartered accountant, alongside Scott Barber, have been working in and around the accounting industry for well over 40 years now. So a long time being pretty deeply rooted in this industry. And over that time, as a lot of you have, we've faced a lot of those similar challenges that we've seen. And I think over the last, that sort of pre and post COVID world has been pretty intense when it comes to the technology space. A lot has changed. And while we've seen a lot of the upsides to that, we certainly saw a lot of the frustrations early on when it came to some of those changes and where things were falling short and where things were exceeding. And I think one of the biggest pain points that we had was around the process of document signing, and we found that quite interesting when I think about it, knowing how critical the process of having document signing is within our industry. There was actually a massive gap when it came to solutions that were built for accounting firms. We were actually originally using a portal environment with one of the major providers, and that's where we needed clients to go through and set up an account, have a username and password. And it caused a lot of frustration, a lot of headaches, not only for clients forgetting their details or having a complicated or a convoluted process of getting those documents signed, but it also caused frustration for the team because they were constantly having to navigate that with clients and going back and forth, which wasn't a great client experience. It's something that we wanted to try to find an alternative for. So we went out and we trialed just about every global provider there is when it comes to e-signing platforms, and we consistently ran into the same problems. Was that we still found that there was quite a lack of industry specific functionality within them. We found that there was little to no integration options, and the cost was enormous. And funnily, Lisa actually just popped. So Lisa, thank you for your comment in the Q&A. There's no pricing, no option for price on the software in the questionnaire, and that's a big consideration. It was for us too. We found the cost for some global providers enormous, and we couldn't really justify why. Um, so much so it led us to actually build FuseSign, and that's something that we wanted to do in terms of building something that was more purpose fit for how we actually worked. We wanted something that was cost effective, we wanted local support, and we wanted to integrate it across the apps that the firm actually used. So thankfully for us, we had a Scott Barber, who is a software developer by trade, but worked in the accounting firm. So we were fortunate enough to have the capability to be able to build it ourselves, and we committed to doing exactly that. And what we originally built as a solution for our own firm, we found obviously was a much broader problem across the industry, not only here in Australia, but across NZ, the UK as well. And we now support over 2,400 accounting firms across those regions. Obviously, the vast majority being here in Australia, and they're a leading provider in the space and a leading integration partner with BGL for that. And that's what we're keen to talk through today is a focus on the integration side and what we've continued to develop over the years when it comes to particularly that CAS integration, and show you why so many firms here leverage it and love it.
Yeah, fantastic. It's really good. Um, I think, why we obviously like working with you guys at FuseSign so much is, that you are Australia based. You do have your roots within the accounting industry, being, having that accounting practice, uh, I suppose, linked. And, that's why so many of our clients have decided to start using FuseSign. And,
Mm.
it's that local support that I think is really important, even though a lot of you didn't say support is one of the most important things, but it does definitely count when something does go wrong or you do need help and you want an answer pretty quickly. You're not
Yeah,
just getting lost and you become a number in a big database for those global firms like you mentioned.
yeah, yeah.
But what we're going to do, we're going to talk about a bit about connectivity. We did speak about the workflow, the connected workflow problem that a lot of accounting firms face. And I know when I started at BGL in 2016, a lot of these integrations and ecosystems, the word ecosystem was a bit of a buzzword. Really sort of only existed in the Apple App Store and it wasn't really a huge thing in the industry. And being able to leverage our solutions back then um, wasn't as easy as it is today. Just being able to now have the ability to connect through multiple platforms. At BGL, we've built an ecosystems team. I think with about 15 team members that are solely focused on building out integrations with BGL and expanding that ecosystem because we know how important that is to accounting firms to really maintain the accuracy between your solutions, have information sync cleanly, and have that visibility when doing that work across different teams within your firm. So I know we put up here on the screen Xero, BGL, FuseSign, and FYI. This is a really, I suppose, seamless connection that we've developed, and it's become probably one of the most popular combos that we're seeing develop within our client base. But I'm not sure with the FuseSign client base if this sort of seems
Yeah.
pretty common.
Yeah, you're looking at our three biggest integration partners on that
Yeah,
screen,
same.
Luca. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I think we're in a fortunate position where, people in our positions, Luca, we talk to a lot of accounting firms every day. And so we're fortunate to be able to kind of ask a lot of questions and find out what they're doing, what they're looking at, what they're moving towards. And yeah, certainly over the last probably 3 or 4 years, this has been the sort of go-to stack. And it's I think with BGL and FuseSign, like we're one piece of that puzzle. But when you're able to connect onto and look at what other things we can leverage from our practice management or our tax software, and how we can then pull and push those documents in and out of something like FYI with all the automations they offer, it creates a lot of automation and takes away a lot of the chance of human error at the same time, while still making sure we're giving a good experience. So it's much broader than us, but this is definitely the stack that we're seeing more often than not.
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got a question in the Q&A is we use MyOBE as our practice manager. Does this connect to BGL, FuseSign, and FYI? I know it does connect to BGL.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
I suppose, does it connect to FuseSign?
Yeah, same with us.
Yeah,
So yes,
yeah,
FuseSign, we do have a connection with Practice Manager,
yeah.
100%. To my knowledge, there is an integration there with FYI. Don't hold me to that. I know this has been
Same.
recorded,
Yeah.
but I'm fairly sure they do also have an integration with MYOB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have a scope of practice manager solutions, document solutions that we also integrate with. But yeah, like we mentioned, this is probably the most common that we're seeing in the industry when speaking to our client bases
Mm.
and new clients. So I suppose the connected workflow, so preparing documents in CAS 360, I suppose it even starts earlier than that. So you're making changes within your practice management solution. So if that's, XPM, you're updating client information, having that flow through into CAS 360, preparing those documents, having them sent out and signed via FuseSign, and then all your automated reminders happening in the background to make sure these clients signing their documents within those deadline periods. And then I suppose finally, those electronically signed documents that are done through the FuseSign portal file back into CAS 360
Hmm.
under the client record in our document screen. And then even better, pushes out to your FYIs and your suite files if you're using them as your sole document management platforms. And that's something that we'll give you a quick demo today and show you how that all works.
Perfect.
So, me and Jackson we were talking the other day about the e-signing adoption. We thought it was pretty interesting, and I got a stat from our ecosystems team about how, just wondering how many of our clients at BGL are actually utilizing e-signing within CAS 360. Uh, but not only do we integrate FuseSign with CAS 360, if any of you attending today use Simple Fund 360 or Simple Invest 360, all those documents, your letters and minutes, annual returns, your tax returns that are getting sent out of those platforms can also be seamlessly signed using FuseSign. So
Mm.
what we noticed was we're about 73% of CAS 360 or BGL users are utilizing electronic signing. And, we're kind of sitting at that late majority uh, area. So
Mm.
it was pretty interesting. I thought it would probably be more by now, but
Yeah, I would have said might have been less. To be fair,
yeah,
we're
okay.
still and even looking at that poll response as well. A lot of firms still doing things via email. It's not uncommon for us to come across firms in that part of their journey still. So a lot of uptake still to come. But yeah, 73 is great. I think we noticed it's something like 55% of our client base is using CAS 360 or has it integrated. So a huge amount leveraging the corporate compliance stack.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I suppose like early days, it was, especially with signing ASIC documents, there was a bit of blurriness around, is it accepted by ASIC and
Yes.
all of that. That was probably in your 2018, 2019 uh, era. And then
Hmm.
I suppose after COVID, when everything sort of became
Shot.
electronic,
Just shot up.
it just, yeah, boomed.
Yep.
And that's sort of the same as Zoom and these online meetings. It used to be all in person back in the day, and
Yeah.
now everyone just wants to do everything through Zoom or Google Meets. So
So,
yeah, the world is definitely changing. Um, so we'll just jump back, and we'll go through a quick demo. So you probably all wondering how does it actually work in CAS 360, and I'll show you the CAS 360 side, and then we'll jump over to FuseSign, and Jackson can go through their platform. But this is what CAS 360 looks like. If you haven't seen it before, we integrate directly into the ASIC portal. So we're bringing through information about pulling through your annual reviews on a daily basis, ASIC debts, and we're keeping track of all of your deadlines. So you can completely remove those spreadsheets, your calendar reminders that you may be doing if you're not using a solution like CAS 360. Like I mentioned, we've focused around three main areas of that corporate compliance workflow, and what it pretty much focuses on is your ASIC annual return. So we're pushing those through every single day. We've got the date to keep track of when they're coming through, and even some nice filters on the left-hand side, so you can go deeper into the data and see, if we've got some upcoming, past, or any annual reviews received. Then our document deadlines. So previously we used to have to send them ad hoc. So we'd click send reminder. We can see here we've even got live statuses on all of our documents and even our recipients. That's the beauty about using FuseSign inbuilt with CAS 360. So if you don't have an electronic signing provider that is connected to CAS 360, you're not going to get all this information. So you're sort of going to be sitting in limbo. You're not going to know where those documents are at, and you're going to have to constantly follow up those clients, all three of them, to make sure that they're signing those forms on time. And we've even got the due dates there for you, so you can have a look. So the statuses are sitting as sent to the recipients. So we've got the ability to send the reminders either via email or SMS. And I think a couple of years ago, we introduced automated reminders. So now what you can do is set up your ASIC debt reminder and your document deadline reminder. You can set up to 5 of these within the platform. And what it will do, it will go out to any of those recipients who haven't signed the documents within that time frame that you've specified before the deadline. Okay,
Yeah,
so
look, that was a couple of questions that we had come through. It was about the ability to send automatic reminders via the integration now. So I think we just ticked off like 3 questions that came through. So if that's not something that you're currently leveraging, that's, I guess, talking to some of those enhancements, that would be one of them for you. So yeah, great point to touch on.
yeah, great. Yeah, look, it's been a real game changer for our clients using CAS, and with that link with FuseSign, because really those automated reminders aren't going to be able to work as efficiently as they would if we weren't able to see who had signed the documents or not. So if you do have that linkage, you're going to get as efficient, and as we mentioned in our poll, everyone wanted to save time and have automation. This is where we're bringing that into CAS 360 and that FuseSign integration.
Brilliant.
I'll jump into our review screen. So I'll go through process and annual review. So we can see here we've received that into our reviews tab. If I click prepare documents, it will bring us into our document production screen. This is consistent across our whole platform, so really trying to enhance that usability. We can see here we've got some questions that the platform is asking us. Would we like to track the documents via the deadline alert? Obviously, we want to do that and have those automated document reminders being sent out. We can see on each of our documents, we can click on them to view them very easily. And we can also edit any of these documents via templates. We can have them flagged for review and sending that invoice as a separate email. We can see the little pen, okay, that's toggling our electronic signing on. And we've got the ability to upload any other documents to this package as well. So if you wanted to upload your invoice for service, to do this work, you can do that. You can download all to a PDF, and then you can send all out straight through CAS 360. If I jump into electronic signing options, we can see here we've built this out. So we've got FuseSign And we can even elect for those signatories to use the SMS 2FA, which really gives us that extra layer of security, and we're making sure that that signatory is the one who's signing the documents. And in a world full of the scam emails and that sort of thing, it becomes really important to have that extra layer. So that's why we built that out. We'll save that there. Click send all. Okay, and within the platform, we're able to uh, prepare these email templates. The beauty about these is we can customize them. We can make them look pretty, put in your firm's branding, so your color schemes, your email signatures, to make it look really professional when you're sending these out. So your clients do think that it's coming directly from your Outlook or Gmail, and not through a platform like Kaz. If I click on send, it will send out to the recipients, and they can sign those documents electronically, which I'll show you in my emails.
Yeah, Luca, just while you're doing that as well, something that I love noting here is for those who are using some type of e-signing and may not have seen this integration before, might be thinking, well, how do people know where they need to sign within the document? And some of the really great groundwork that BGL have done when building this integration means that because they understand the relationships between the recipients, they can automatically identify where on the document people need to sign. So you'll notice that Luca didn't go through and tag up the document manually. It automatically populated that for the signers there. So in terms of efficiency, I think that's massive. Saves the team a lot of time. Again, reduces human error. It's a really good piece of that integration.
100%. Yeah. So we coded within all of our documents in CAS 360. So all your ASIC documents, all your letters and minutes, where the signing fields need to be. So when you click on our review documents button here, it will bring you into the FuseSign portal, and each, depending on who's the person who has opened up the email, okay, will depend on where that signing field will be allocated. So, being myself here, Jebediah John Springfield, it will allow me to either type, draw, or post an image. So I'll just do a little squiggle there, and we can see now
Sorry, I was
that.
gonna sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say we just released that ability to upload a signature image as well, which we know is becoming pretty highly requested. So for those who might be using FuseSign, we now, and didn't realize, we now have that signature image upload option as well for clients. Nice.
Yeah. So now that those documents are signed, you'll get a little notification in our notification bell within CAS, and you'll be able to view those documents once each of those signatories have signed. So you actually have to wait until all of them sign before it will file back into CAS 360 as a signed package. So you'll get notified in those in your bell there. And if someone hasn't been signing and the others have, they're going to get those automated reminders that we've set up in the background working for you.
Yeah.
Another thing, I suppose, is if we go and do a quick company change. Okay, so what we can do, we can jump into CAS 360 and jump into a specific company. We can see here we've got the company record, our tabs up the top that show our addresses, offices, and shareholders that are all stored within the platform. We can bring through all this data directly from the ASIC portal, so you just download it in within a couple of hours, depending on how many companies you have. And then once you make a specific change, so I might just jump into shareholders here, just do a quick allotment, makes it nice and easy. Okay, you can pick your beneficial owner, your share class, and then hit save. It will update our shareholder register here. And then you can prepare your forms. All right, so we can see our 484, we got our register of members, allotment journals, share certificates, and application for shares. All right, so if I send that out, okay, we'll be able to sign those documents. Very similar process to that annual return. Okay, I've even put in some ASIC late fees here so the clients know what that is. Got any more questions coming through?
I have heaps. We're up to like 20 questions. I was gonna say just before I jump in and take over, Luca, I'll just knock off for a few of these, and we do have time at the end for these, so we are not ignoring you. Thank you for so many great questions. Luca and I can only focus on one thing at a time. That's just the skill set that we have. I will just mention a couple of these. So one of the question here is, can I use FuseSign outside of BGL for all other documents to sign? 100%. That's what I'm about to show you now. So of course we've got all this great integration functionality, but we built FuseSign to be a standalone platform. The integrations are the nice to haves. So yeah, I'll show you through how we can use FuseSign standalone in just a moment. So yes, you definitely can. And there's also a question from the same person. Does FuseSign have a current sign-up promotion if you're a BGL customer? Yes, hang on the line. We will talk a bit about that towards the end.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, so we can see how easy and seamless that process is. Your clients getting the email, they just click one link. They don't have to put in their passwords or usernames like you mentioned, Jackson, and they can sign those forms and have them file back into CAS 360 and then push out to FYI or Suite files at the end of the day. Within the platform, you can come into our documents screen for each of the companies, view all the attachments that have come through, the signed documents. You've got your statuses on the left-hand side, so you can keep track of those. But that's pretty much the gist of it, and how simple and easy it is to use in CAS. So I'll hand over to you, and you can go through the FuseSign portal.
Beautiful. Thanks, Luca. Hopefully you've got my screen coming up there. That answers one of the questions here, Luca. So Carla asked, can it also save in FYI? Yes, there's a great integration between FYI and CAS. So once the documents are signed, they come back, you can lodge from within CAS, and then overnight FYI will come through and pick up and drop those documents under the correct client, under the nominated cabinet and category. So yeah, when we talk about ecosystem, that's a really good example of that.
Yeah.
So going through and having a look at the other part of this is where we go through and how we leverage FuseSign to send everything else that needs to go out for signing. And again, the goal for us is creating consistency, right? So the client's getting the same experience when you're sending from CAS, they should be getting the same experience across everything else that leaves your office. So this is where we come in. I'll use quite a simple example today. If you'd like to go through some more of the nitty gritty and some of your processes and workflows and other integrations, we'll have a poll for you at the end to do that. So I'm just going to stick to what's relevant to everybody here. So if this is your first time using FuseSign, where you're going to live the majority of the time are in these top 4 tabs here. So we keep it quite simple in terms of navigating through the platform. So I'm currently in that new tab because I'm creating a bundle of documents that I want to send for signing. Now, where at all possible, we try to automate the processes here. So little things like having email templates is really important. And that way we can make sure that the team are consistent in terms of the language they're using when they're sending documents out for clients. But of course, we're also saving some time. So still fully editable if we need to go through and adjust anything else here. But ideally, if we can get the bulk of that wording in, we can get on with creating this pack. Similar to within CAS, we've also got those automatic reminders that we can trigger. So we can have this all set up in the background. So we can say, well, as a business, 7 days after we send, we want those reminders starting to trigger. We want that to be the day before and the due date. We can still change this on the fly, but ideally we let the system handle it outside of the sort of specific needs we've got. When we come down, we can then add in as many recipients as we need. This is where other integrations come in. So we spoke a bit about Zero Practice Manager, MYOB AE. We have direct integrations with a lot of different practice management solutions. And that way, when I'm searching here, what I'm really doing is searching my practice management database as opposed to searching through a separate database that we're managing in FuseSign directly, meaning that every time a client adds or updates their information, they're having to go through and update that in 3 or 4 different systems. Whereas with this, same with BGL, we update it in XPM, and that then filters through into all of our other systems, which is very, very handy. We can come through. I won't talk too much about the FYI integration, but we do integrate with FYI if that's something that you're using, looking at, or wanting to look at, which means documents can be grabbed, sent out for signing, and automatically filed back upon completion for anything ad hoc that we're sending via FYI. Otherwise, we can bring them in, and we've got our documents ready to go. So one of our big points and something that was really important to us, and I think largely one of our first features that we released in FuseSign, was we know that we needed as a firm more control over visibility, because we know that the document packs that we send are quite complex, which is why we call it a bundle of documents. Because we might be sending the full accounts out to the group, but we don't think, or we know that some of those documents aren't going to be relevant to everyone in that group. So FuseSign allows you to nominate whether each recipient can view, sign, or not view a document within that pack. So in this case, if we keep Kyan to none, it means that he doesn't see that document as a part of his pack. So we can be quite flexible with all of that control and that privacy. So you're not having to go through and to send out multiple packs to get that same effect. Everything goes out together and everything comes back together. We can do little things like signing orders as well. So if we had a partner internally wanting to sign after our clients have signed, if we drag that recipient into the second group, it means that Kyan's not going to get notified with an email to sign anything until the first two recipients here, or whoever is in this first group, have completed their actions. So if we wanted to have that set workflow, we can certainly do that. And then the final step is tagging the documents up. So while we love to work like the BGL integration does and everything is 100% automated, we can do some things around that, but otherwise we also have the option to come through and to tag these documents up. So all of these placeholder options allow you to get all different types of information from clients. So whether it's standard signatures, whether it's signing dates, we can have things like text fields in here if we needed to as well, or checkboxes. There's a range of different things that we can enter through here. So that's our ad hoc manual way of going about things. The other option we have is to go through and to set up placeholder templates. So for more of our static documents, like an ELD is always a great example, we can go through and we can tag up this document once. We can come through and we can save that as a template. And that way the next time we come through, instead of going through and doing that manually every time, we can select the one we created previously and we can just apply that there directly. This makes it really simple for us to get it tagged up and move along. Our team are happy to sort of help set those up for you as well and talk you through that in a bit more detail, but just conscious of time, I'll keep it simple for today. And once we're done, we can get ready to send this out. So we do have notification systems via email, which is the standard, but we also have the option where we're bringing through the mobile number to also enable things like an SMS notification. And we find that documents are signed and returned up to 4 times faster if they are using the SMS, because it's another notification trigger. And because we are completely device agnostic, it means that clients can use mobile, tablet, iPad, laptop, any device, doesn't matter, to go through and to sign their documents via FuseSign, which keeps it simple. Also with the ability, and similar to what Luca mentioned, having an ability to have 2FA methods. So whether that's via the mobile, email, or switching it off is really set down to the firm's preference. Otherwise, we can come through and we can send it away. I won't go through the client sign-on experience because we've seen that via the CAS documents, but everything else goes through completely branded to your business. So your colors, your logos, even down to the button color is all very much tailored towards the business. So we can send that out for signing. Now, just the final thing I'll touch on, and I'm conscious that there are some questions there as well. I think we're up to like 35. We'll jump into those in a moment. Is our active dashboard. So another thing that caused us a lot of frustration with some of the global providers was everything was charged per user. And as soon as you start adding users, the price goes from this to this. So we wanted to make sure, and from a security and an audit perspective, it means that we had no visibility across anything from anyone that was out for signing. It was all user one, which doesn't give us much information. So we do not charge based on users. It's purely volume that you're sending out for signing. And that way every user can have their own account so we can track everything properly. So despite what's out for signing, whether it's from CAS 360, FuseSign standalone, or another integration, everything populates in our active dashboard and is color-coded to the stage that it's in. So this one that I've just sent out, no one has yet opened or actioned their items, so they're orange. If they're yellow, they have viewed the documents but they haven't signed. If they're green, they've completed their actions. So the team should be able to come in here and get a really quick snapshot of where things are at in the process. Again, we're relying on those automatic reminders, but we still then have the option to go through and manually remind if we need to as well. Amazing. Luke, I'm conscious of those questions. I might give you the screen back if you want to steal it, and we'll get into these questions.
Yeah, yeah, easy. Current share. All right, beautiful. Desktop two.
Are there any questions in particular you wanted to start with there?
Yeah, so I've got a couple of questions about the review process in CAS 360. So yeah, you can all of your documents can be reviewed when sending out. So once you go into the document production screen, okay, there's a toggle here, flag documents to be reviewed. So you can put your manager or whoever it is who wants to review the documents before you send them out. And they'll actually be the ones who send it. So we thought there's no point it coming back to the person preparing. If it gets approved, you just send it on the spot. If there needs to be a workaround, there's a comment section. So you can put in a comment and say, please fix this up, and then sends it back. It will send back to the preparer for them to make those changes and then get it reviewed again. So yes, there is the ability to review those documents before they get sent. Another question was, would the 484s auto lodge once signed? They don't auto lodge. However, you do get a notification in the bell, and it will basically say, documents are being signed, very similar to this. And then there's the button there that you just press lodge. We're working towards more automation and more AI in the platform to, make it as zero touch as possible. But that'll probably be something that will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Another.
Do we want to just run? I think just conscious that we're almost on that 45-minute mark. We'll keep chipping away these questions because we've got a heap in here and we're happy to hang around and answer through those, but conscious of other people's times as well. We'll run a poll now if you would like to find out a bit more. And again, we really scrape the surface on this. There's a lot that we can go through, and it's going to be very specific to your tech stack and your workflow. So if you'd like to find out a bit more about BGL, CAS 360, or FuseSign, now is the time. We both do have an offer going until the end of the month for a bit of an introductory offer for clients that are or people that have joined the session for us today. So now is the time, if any time of year, to do this or to look at it. And in one of the questions we've got is, in a trial account with FuseSign, yes, you 100% can integrate it with your CAS environment to do everything we've done today to test it. It's not a buy before you try. It's very much the opposite. So let us know. Our teams can reach out and help you do all of that and set it up for you and all the rest. That's all sort of part of the deal. So we can probably just let that run while we hop away. I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention on your little offer there, Luca.
No, that's probably about it. Just get in touch with us, and our sales team will reach out if you've selected that you want us to get in touch about CAS 360 or both, and we'll go through what that is, and we can give you a more in-depth demo of the platform and how that integrates with FuseSign and really tailor that to your practice.
Beautiful. Awesome. It's just a simple question here. So Mark is on just about all of my webinars. It's good to see you joining this one, Mark. So the question is, so basically what we would do is use FuseSign to send through BGL rather than FYI. And it's a great question. So yes, we spoke about this a bit before, but because we've got that three-way integration, Mark, you can use CAS 360, send your documents out for signing, they'll come back to CAS, and FYI will pick them up overnight. So you'll gain a lot of efficiencies rather than getting them out of CAS 360, uploading them to FYI and sending that way. It's a great quick win if you're not integrated to do that for sure. Awesome. There's a question from Caleb. Is there any option to get it sent to a draft in FuseSign rather than sending it directly to the client in case someone else needs to be added to view the document? Max, so the short answer, Caleb, is no, but I'm not sure, Luca, if you know that you're able to add like CC'd recipients with those bundles to view the documents.
Yeah, you can add
Functionally?
CC recipients.
Yep. As like view only.
Yeah, for each company, you've got the ability to put in like a billing contact, signing contact, viewing contact, and um, the only thing is that it's going to go out to the it's going to go out to the client.
Yep.
You want to use that review process if you want it to go out to someone to review it before you send it out.
Hmm.
That's probably the better workflow.
Yeah, I agree.
Another question is, can a document be signed initially that allows one person to sign on behalf of everyone? If it's a minute, you need everyone who attended the meeting or the chairperson to sign off on it. Um, so that can be one person on behalf of everyone, but I think if it's a resolution, that you need all of them to sign.
Yep. Yep. There's a question. Is it possible for um, an addressee to just have the client's first name? Yes, we actually had a recent update or enhancement with our practice management integrations and from our external sources like CAS. So if you use the preferred name field in like an XPM, for example, FuseSign can pull that through. And so if it's not Joe, it's Joey, or Joseph, it's Joe. You've got the option there. So most definitely we can pull through just the client's first name if that was what was set in their preferred name. Some great questions here.
Yeah, some really good
Mm.
questions coming through. We will also get a copy of all the questions after the webinar concludes, and we'll go through them and get in touch with you
Yeah,
all
100%.
and answer them individually. So don't worry that your question's not going to get answered. It will. Um, just bear with us.
Yep. Julie asks, is there a way to attach a document as a PDF when sending out documents for e-signing? If it's via FuseSign, yes, 100%. I think via Kaz, Luca, they can. They can go through and they can add additional documents,
Yep.
so long as they're PDF.
Yep.
Um, Christy asked if we'll be showing through the review process in this session. So no, again, just conscious of time, Christy. But again, if you'd responded to that poll, I'm sure Luca and the team can take you through what that looks like to review before we send. Is that fair, Luca?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah. Does the audit report save into FYI also? Yes, Dale, 100%. So anything that we've applied to that bundle post signing, which is the audit trail, the certificate, will all file back into FYI together. Everything we need.
A couple of questions about Simple Fund 360. Yes, it does integrate with Simple Fund 360. So we'll get in touch with you to show you how that integration works.
Yeah. Question: when using the integration between CAS 360 and FuseSign, does the client receive a completed signed copy when it's all complete? Yes, 100% they do. So the system will automatically send that once everything's been signed and completed by all parties. So nothing you need to do there, and that's the same with any of our integrations or standalone. All completely automated for you.
So another one, if we use XPM as our main database, when will we be able to Jackson, I think you got rid of that
Sorry, I got
question.
rid of it too quickly, didn't I? Sorry. The question
That's all right.
was,
But so yeah.
if we use XPM as our main database, when will we be able to update XPM and update BGL simultaneously?
Yeah, so it all flows through instantaneously. So when you make a change in XPM, you'll get flagged in our little notification bell. It will say so and so has updated their details in XPM, and there'll be a button there that will say prepare forms. So you just click on that, it'll prepare all the forms for you, and you're good to go.
Love it. Sorry, mate. I
That's all
was just
right.
making it harder for you. The question, I missed the answer for whether reminders can be sent through FuseSign if documents are produced in CAS 360. Yes, there's automatic reminders that can be set up when sending via CAS as well as via FuseSign standalone. Do you connect with Box? Personally, we do not. It's not one we come across a huge amount, Michelle, personally. So we haven't had a huge amount of requests for that, but always open to new integration opportunities. I'm not sure if something that you have with CAS, with Box. No.
Nah, not that I've heard of.
Yeah. Okay. Are
All
you able to
right.
send reminders from FuseSign as well as CAS 360? Wendy, yes, 100% you can. We might knock out, we've still got quite a few in here. I'm conscious of time. For those who
Yeah.
are dropping off, massive thank you for joining us today. We'll try to get through a few more of these, and then any others we'll reach out. We'll reach out after. Is there any in particular you want to jump on there?
What about the integration with ACIS in Queensland?
Hmm.
Yeah, we have an integration directly with ACIS, and I'm pretty sure
As do
FuseSign
we.
does as well.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. So it all flows through. So create your company on ACIS or Trust, pushes into just push into you guys first.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's right. Yeah. Yes, it does. Yep, yep. So they go through, tag it up in FuseSign, and
get
send
everything
send
signed.
directly. Yep.
Yeah, and then it flows into CAS 360, creates the company, creates the trust, stores all the signed documents in the documents tab.
Yep. Lisa, nice to see you on here. Yeah, so the question is, does the signing templates for ELD, so we're talking about FuseSign standalone, rely on those documents printing in exactly the same format each time? The way that they work, Lisa, is by basically the positions within the document. So we're not looking at words necessarily, we're looking at the placement on that page. So if they come through the same way, they'll populate the same way. But if you've got documents that are, different pages, different size fonts, different paragraphs, it's not where they work best. So more for those really sort of static recurring documents where that'll come in handy.
How easy is it to turn on the Fuse and CAS 360 integration?
Oh my God, so easy. It'll take you 30
So,
seconds. Yeah.
literally. So you just jump into the app switcher in CAS, integrations, digital signing, and then you jump into here, put in your details, and it's all linked and ready to go.
Yeah,
Uh,
so easy. Even in a trial again, it's quite straightforward. From Alyssa, is there a way we can update the email address after the bundle has been sent out? We find that we have to retract and resend, but some parties have already signed. Yes, I won't go through into detail with that, Alyssa. Just I'll be here for a while. So the short answer is yes, you can. In a live bundle, you can go through and update those details. Anything like this that you've got questions around that are specific to some of your use cases, support at fuse.work is the best way, and I'll just type it for you here. If you want to pop that through, the team will show you how you can update that so you won't have to be retracting bundles on the fly.
So getting
Cool.
to the integrations page in CAS, you just click the app switcher on the top right hand corner of the screen, and there's the BGL integrations there.
Yeah. Marin asks, can you save FuseSign documents via an automation from CAS 360 to FYI? It's an integration rather than an automation, Marin. So if you go onto FYI support page and search for the CAS integration, it'll give you all the information you'll need to get that set up. Mark, yes, there is a CAS offer. Feel free to respond to the poll, and Luke will get in touch. Thanks, Mark. We do a great job, Luca. Just so you know,
Yeah.
that was a comment from Mark. The recording will be available for you, Robert. We'll have that sent out later today, if not tomorrow, so you'll have access to it there. Yeah, Warwick, can FuseSign service two brands in the one practice? Yeah, you certainly can. That's a feature that's called Teams, which is available on our business plan and above. It's one of the only features that we don't kind of have access across all of it. Normally, that's just based
Uh,
on requirements around the need for Teams. Sorry, Luca, did I cut out or did you cut
Yeah, you
out?
did. I don't know.
It
One of
was
us.
one of us. That's all right. I'll repeat what I just said just in case. So
No,
Warwick asked, can FuseSign service two brands in one practice? Yes, it's called Teams. Go to our knowledge base, search Teams. It'll tell you everything you need to know. 100% we can support. So it's great for multi-divisional, multi-office. Yeah, definitely Teams is the way to go for you, Warwick.
beautiful. Do we want to
Yeah, look,
finish up
we're
here?
creeping up on time.
Yep.
We have quite a few more here. Again, thank you so much. We will get in touch with these. Luca, we might just jump onto a couple of the anonymous ones because we won't have their details. But
Yep.
would would be good if you sign added daily reminders as a default. Ooh, take that to the team, but that feels like a lot. Um, cool. I think the rest of these are good. We've got all your names, we've got your details. We'll be in touch with your questions. Luca, what's the best support method for people who are clients here that have some questions specific to them?
Yep. So we support live chat. Live chat seems to be the best way to go at the moment. We're that's been able to answer majority of the questions that our clients are putting through before they hit the support team, or just select your little phone support and put in your query, and we'll get back to you within 4 hours.
Beautiful. It's great. That's some really good SLAs. Yeah, same for us. There's a little get help button down the bottom left in FuseSign. Otherwise, it's support@fuse.work, and we can help you out. So we'll get back to you. But if you need something a bit more quick, quicker, yeah, done. Do that. We'll be able to get in touch with you.
Beautiful. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for attending our session today. I hope you found a lot of value in what we were discussing, and hopefully we'll be in touch with you soon and get to chat with you about the integration with Fuse and CAS 360.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks for your
Jackson.
time. Appreciate it. See you
All
next
right.
time.
Have a
Bye.
good day. See ya.